installment of Emrae, the Dungeons and Dragons campaign set in a world of my own design. We will introduce the party yet again. We have our good buddy Zach, aka Jindorum Draprax, our Dragonborn sorcerer. We've got Jeff, aka Leganor, our human fighter bard, and Mike, aka Wallace Stoneguard, our human fighter, who is also from the planet Vulcan, apparently. When we last left our party, we had survived an impending encounter with a mummy lord who was resurrected from a tomb after, I believe, Leganor triggered the event by trying to do an
No, it was
Indian.
Mortimer.
Nope, it was Mortimer, and you can't tell us
Okay,
any different.
that's their story and they're sticking to it. But we, the audience, in the movie that is this game, know that in fact it was Leganor's Indiana Jones attempt to swap the Yamarabi's
Don't tell the
Had I
end.
a bag of sand, it would have gone much better.
Yamarabi's tome for an illusory version of it. So you guys fought with the Mummy Lord. You dispatched the Mummy Lord. You even destroyed its heart so that it wouldn't resurrect a day later. However, unfortunately, during the scuffle, a couple of our friends, both Leganor and our NPC friend Rolfo, were affected by a rotting fist, and they have these festering, necrotic-type, weird wounds where they were hit. And they don't seem to be able to recover any of their stamina. Try as they might to take their rests and feel better, they appear unable. They spent some time trying to find a solution to this, and Mortimer, as scholarly as he was, discovered that the staff under the case in the artifact room was in fact the Rod of Life, which is an ancient artifact used by the Uralites that has been apparently under lock and key for these many, many centuries. And unlike the rest of the artifacts, which he's trying to preserve and keep safe for cataloging, he handed it to Jin to spend time attuning to it, as he was a mage caster type. And we learned that the Rod of Life has the ability to grow lemons once a month off of its wooden branches.
My favorite pun so far.
The Rod of Life will in fact give you lemons, and when it does,
That's Jeff level.
those lemons are apparently capable of curing any curse. Luckily, he rolled well on his D4, and 2 lemons have budded and are growing up. So now we assume it's a race against the clock to hopefully cultivate the lemons before our friends die of a curse, or find some other way to remove the curse. So when we last left, everyone was bedding down for the night because they really haven't had a full night's rest since first coming here, and the goal is now to get back to the Sawtooth, where Mortimer and his scholarly crew can start to organize a return trip with a larger excavation party, because now there's all this new parts of the temple that no one's ever discovered that they need to catalog in a very official manner. Take it away.
So this is after a long rest, right?
So this was, I believe, at the start of your short rest. If you're going to take a long rest, that would take you to midday.
Okay.
And you'd have to discuss that with the party. I think the goal is to just bed down until morning and then make break and start heading home.
I would say a long rest would do everybody good.
Yeah, I'm hurting after that one, fellas. I lost a lot of my tricks there. Got to get them back.
Now, I attuned the Rod of Life. If I spend another rest researching it more, do I learn more about it, or do I gain any? No further. Okay.
So you're ordinarily you have to spend 1 attunement to identify the item. Short rest, and one short rest to identify and 1 short rest to attune. That's typically the rules.
Because Mortimer identified
because Mortimer already told you everything about it, you just had to attune to it. So your first short rest gave you access to its functions, and you have all the knowledge that's written out in the card that I provided, which is somewhere here for the viewers.
Under artifact item.
Rod of Life. So there's a bunch of stuff there. Yeah.
We also got the dances on a piece of paper that are being passed around by the
Correct.
Scooby.
So somebody took down the notes of which Scooby character has which dances.
Oh, I did write it down.
Shaggy has 1. Fred has 2 and 4. Velma has 3 and 5. Daphne has 6, and Scoob has 7. So we're mostly worried about Fred, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yep. That sounds right.
Yeah. So everyone is discussing about taking a nice quick nap, and you guys can play the game now.
Oh, I gotta see if these wounds are gonna heal. Doesn't seem like any of my.
Wallace is just lying down.
Yeah.
There's no discussion.
So-
Wallace is just going taking his nap.
Rolfo is like in agreement with you. He's like, I gotta agree. I gotta say I agree with you. I expected I usually feel better after a bit of a sit down, but I'm still kind of hurting from this pain in my chest. I'd love to take some more time here. But we're the hired help. We do what the contract says, and sounds like Mortimer and Varen and all them are looking to get out of here, and I don't blame them. It's not every day a man from the city gets to see a mummy.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, if you can convince them two to leave later, that's up to you.
Well, convinced, or we might just have to lag behind for a minute and figure this out. I am not in good shape to travel across all that swamp right now.
Well, at the end of the day, we're hired to escort them. So whatever they want to do, you're contractually obligated to follow the rules.
I agree. We'll see what we can do. But
plus, from what
everyone
he was saying, it doesn't seem like taking a longer time to sit and relax was gonna do us any good.
We'll see. I mean, does he know that for sure? I am not feeling very well.
I hear you.
I mean, I know you know that because you got hit the same that I did, but it's not.
He shows you it's spreading and it looks awful.
Oof. Yeah. No.
Now, as Jin wouldn't know what it is, but hey Legs, I got this potion. You want to try this potion? Would this help?
What potion do you have?
We have a small potion of healing that was given to us by
right.
Frosty.
by Frosty. Yeah. Now, obviously, Jin wouldn't know that it wouldn't work, but I figure it would be something that we would try.
Yeah, no, that's fine. You don't have to explain those things,
Oh, got it.
But yeah, no, that's good. That's just an RP note.
Yep. RP note. There you go.
Yeah, so Jin.
You tried taking that or what?
Jin extends out a health potion towards you, Leganor.
Who else is in the room right now?
I guess yeah. I guess if you guys are chit chatting, I would say that.
Is it?
Rolfo's over here with you.
Okay. So he's right there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll step forward to where he is and take the health potion. And then what I'd like to do is as I take the health potion, I try to uncork it, and I'm so delirious and wiped out that I try to take a swig, and it fumbles out of my hands and then splashes all over the case with the sash.
So you drop.
Oh, man, you all right?
You drop Jin's health potion on the sash case.
Yeah, like, ugh, and then it fell all over the sash case.
I know potion of healing.
Okay. Let me do a quick roll here.
I am not myself.
So as the vial lands on the top of the case, it actually smashes the glass pane in it.
What did I do?
I immediately reach out and grab Leganor and kind of throw his arm over my shoulder and be like, all right, we gotta get out of here. We gotta go.
No, put me down. I need to sit. I'm burning up right now. And with that, you see me roll up my sleeves, and I'm like lying down against the tile to try to cool myself off and everything. So
Mortimer emerges in the door and walks past Rolfo, seeing what's happened, and he's mortified, no pun intended. And he's like, what happened? Why are we even in this room? Get out of here! You're going to ruin these things. And he's like looking over the sash.
I'm so sorry. All right, let's go. Let's go.
I'll shoo Mortimer and Rolf out of the room. Like, all right, you guys gotta go. Go. I'll take care of him. Go.
But no, I have to. Now I have to preserve this.
Go. I got him.
I don't care about him at this point. I care about the sash.
Of course.
I smack him.
You smack Mortimer?
I smack Mortimer for saying that.
Roll an attack roll, an unarmed strike.
Gently. Unarmed strike. How do I do? I don't actually have unarmed strike.
Everyone has unarmed strike.
No, it's not under my. It's not under
It's just
my
it's just an
spell.
attack. It's just an attack roll with your proficiency bonus.
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna have to add one because I just don't have a straight up unarmed strike in my attack and spellcasting.
Yeah, you just roll a d20 plus 3.
Okay, that I can do that.
Minus 1, so plus 2.
Okay. D20.
Yeah, so you smack him and you actually deal 1 point of damage with an unarmed strike. And he's like, oh, how dare you?
I care about my friend.
Oh, all right, I noted. I apologize. I certainly care about your friend, but I'm more concerned with the state of these relics. You take care of your friend. Just get him out of this room.
Get you out of the room. I'll take him out. You're in my way. So I start at that point. I start to hoist up legs, and we start to work our way out.
And Rolfo stays with Mortimer to undo any contractual damage you may have done by slapping your employer.
Hey, look, he's disrespecting her, bro.
I say to Mortimer, it's all I'm not feeling. I don't know what's come over me. I am not myself. I could really use a solid rest before departing. I don't know if I'll be more of a liability instead of an asset in trying to protect you if anything happens to us on the way back. I don't know if we can bed down.
Yes, fine, shoo. And he shoos you away.
Okay.
Jim understands what's going on.
Okay. And with that, I let Jin escort me back to the group.
So you hear he and Rolfo chatting about, the contract. Like, this is ridiculous. What has he done? We're gonna take this out of your pay. Blah 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 blah.
We don't hear that, right?
You hear like general chatting. You're not unless you're intending to eavesdrop.
Nah, I just don't really care. I'm more concerned about Leganor.
Okay. Okay.
I guess what is Mike doing at this time?
He's taking care of his kids.
No, Wallace.
Wallace he said he was laying down, and it looks like he's in the museum room.
Oh, I can see him there. Okay. Leganor, bro, what are you thinking? I figure are we kind of out of earshot of anybody, or
you are exactly where you are. So
we are exactly. Well, yeah, okay. So they fine. All right, man, we gotta get out of here. Huh? We gotta start heading back.
I need to rest. There's no way I can travel in such condition. I'm completely spent. I'm hurting. I would not be of use to anyone if we had to leave right now. But maybe after, give me a few hours, maybe I'll feel better then.
All right, let's get, and then I'll carry him into this room over here.
Also, Jim, do you remember off the top of your head how much damage I took? Because when I leveled up, it healed me, and I want to go back on to.
We'd have to scroll up in chat. Looks like 9 and 5.
That sounds right. Okay.
Yeah, rotting fists. 9 plus 5. 14. And because you can't gain health, you'd be at 14 lower than your previous maximum.
That's right. That's right. Okay.
So just subtract however many hit points you gain in the level up. Which looks like... Wait, why'd you roll for health twice?
I rolled once.
You did the average and then you rolled?
No, I only rolled once.
Yeah, it says average for HP and then roll for HP. So did you take the average or did you want to roll? You can't do both.
Well, wouldn't it? So I clicked 1 to see what it would be, but I didn't know that clicking that, like, if you want me to take the 5, but I think it would be a bigger deal if I rolled first and then took the average, right?
No, you make a choice on every level up whether you want to just
Yeah,
take the average or
I've
roll
always
for
chosen
health.
to roll.
Okay.
I happened to select it, and I didn't realize that selecting average to see how much the average was would then roll it out.
It's very convenient, but that's fine. I'm not going to fight over it. So, for the future, when you guys level up, you have the option of either taking the average or rolling for health. Whatever you choose, you take. Going forward. I'll give you the 7. Now it's an official rule.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're at whatever your previous max was, minus 14. And yeah, so Wallace, you heard some commotion. Mortimer went running into the artifact room. There was some more hubbub and chit chat, and then you saw Leganor get carried out of the room, assisted by Jin, and Mortimer and Rolfo are chatting in the other room. You also heard a crash of glass during this encounter as well.
Okay, they got carried up there, so they got carried from where to where?
From the artifact room where the mummy spawned to
Right.
where you currently see them now here.
Ow.
And I slapped Mortimer.
All right. Well, I was in here, so I'll.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
this
you're
is-
in the.
So I heard stuff and
Yeah.
came out and walked. Like, gents, we only have like an hour to sleep. What's going on?
Leganor's not doing so good, man. We got to get him down to late, take some
Like,
rest.
one at a time. Fingers.
I'll need more than an hour if I'm going to be in any shape to travel. Otherwise, I'll be a complete liability if anything happens to us. I mean, we have to get through a freaking swamp. I'm in no condition to travel at this moment. I could use a few hours. Mortimer knows, but Jin handed me a healing potion back there, and I tried to grab it, and it fell out of my hands, and it broke the case in one of the containers, one of the display cases in there. Mortimer's not very happy right now, so we decided to leave the room.
Alright. Do you
If they
think
need to go right now, then I'm going to insist that at least I hang back, and I would hope you guys do too. I cannot travel as it stands.
Well, what are you thinking about? We gotta take care of him.
Well, my concern is that staying here actually isn't doing us any good because you got that little lemon stick, right? So you and Rolfo need the lemons, and I don't know if just sticking around here does us any good. If everybody else is gonna leave,
Hang on one
we're
second.
just super dangerous.
I
So
also don't know how long these lemons are gonna take to grow.
right.
One second,
So-
guys.
So the question becomes, I mean, I guess mechanically you're trying to get things back that besides hit points is my understanding.
Exactly. Long rest because I'm basically completely spent right now.
Got it. Well,
Do you passively lose health?
no.
No, there's no. I can't be healed right now until it gets.
Do we know how to?
Mhm.
Also, do we know how to get out of this swamp by ourselves?
Yeah, we have the map.
All right.
Travel
Sorry about
east
that.
or travel west. Head to the south.
It's a little more complicated than that, I think. I mean, I was trying to pay attention, but I don't know if I want to rely on our abilities to maneuver this swamp on our own.
Sorry about that.
It's not that hard to travel west, though. Once we get to the
No,
forest,
but it's one thing. But it's one thing to travel west. It's another thing to be able to get through a swamp on dry ground. Dragound. Sometimes the accent goes off on its own.
I'm not saying that we split from the group, but if the group has to leave this moment, I'm gonna need to catch up to you because I'm not
So you,
a few hours. I can't be the only. I know I'm not the only one that's hurting right now. Rolfo's in the same condition. A couple other people got scraped up.
In the middle of this conversation, Rolfo and Mortimer come back from the other room. And Mortimer kind of addresses the group at large. And he says, after recently speaking with our friend Leganor and talking to Rolfo, both of whom have been afflicted by what appears to me to only be a mummification curse, which of course we expect the Rod of Life to be pivotal in restoring, I do believe it would be prudent to provide us all more time to catch our breath and rest. Master Leganor couldn't even grasp a potion, let alone protect us on our journey back to the Sawtooth. So, rather than break at first light, I think we should give them some more time to recuperate. At this, Varen is outraged. He's like, "That's preposterous! I'm not spending another night in this
Sticky,
hellhole.
don't even start.
What are you going to do about it? Why, I'll have your job."
We're all gonna get into good night's sleep. At least a good morning's sleep in this case, so that we can actually do a decent job of protecting your very useful sword there in the scabbard. Now, if you'll excuse me, we're all going to sleep, so we can get some rest, so we can do a decent job of actually protecting you and the Scooby Gang, so we can actually get back to the swamp. Thank you kindly. And I'll just walk out of the room.
Nice.
Anything more than pallets on your useless belt.
Rolfo shares a glance with the other members of the Wild Men, who seem to just know without words that this is the plan, I guess. And Rolfo's like, "Yeah, Mr. Varen, I got to agree with our friend Mortimer, and despite your hastily desires to leave the swamp, it would do us no good if, your own protection needed protection. You know what I'm trying to say?" "Well, this delay and those damages are coming out of your pay, I'll tell you that much." "Yeah, we can settle that all up in the Sawtooth." And with that, the party seems to take a full time to get a full long rest. So it'll be more like noonish before you guys get whatever long rest restores, with the exception of Rolfo and Leganor's health.
I'm kind of surprised. I'm trying to put a little Z icon on my character. I'm surprised there's no Z icon in this thing. Anyway.
For sleeping.
Oh god, I'm not dead.
Oh no.
I thought the X was the get out of the menu thing. That's funny.
No, I've done that a few times.
I didn't scroll down. There's a whole bunch of these. Wow.
There's no Z's though.
Yeah, I was right. There's still no Z. That's funny. I can be the Empire.
Probably this one. It's probably this one.
The Empire.
Oh, snowflake. Oh, frozen orb. Okay. Yeah, you'd think sleep would be a thing.
Today I learned.
The second one? Yeah, it's the second one.
Oh,
yeah.
As opposed to that's ninja
sleepy.
face, but okay.
Hang
sorry.
on, the cat is being a jerk. Let me go take care of the cat. These animals.
The responsibility of having other living things in your abode is annoying at times.
Yeah, I'm a stay-at-home dad at this point.
Yeah, having to do class in the morning at the same time that I'm homeschooling is not fun.
I'm sure that's very difficult. Oh my goodness.
Ugh. Especially when I'm in the middle of giving a presentation. And at this point, I would like to explain what the submarines and the service ships are going to be doing in my war plan. Excuse me a moment while I deal with the 4-year-old. Daddy? Hold on.
Alright, and we're back. So everybody beds down, they spend their evening.
Morning.
You guys get plenty of time. Yeah, the rest of the morning, you have plenty of time to recuperate. So you get your hit dice back if you used any during your short rest. You get your spells and all that other stuff. Leganor and Rolfo, as you wake up, you kind of exchange glances. Rolfo's like, "Hey, I'm still not feeling too good. I mean, I feel generally fine, but this don't feel nice." How about you? You feel okay?
I thought I'd feel better, but at least I'm a little more capable now. But man, I am not ready to take on anything else right now.
Yeah,
We
well,
might as well get moving.
hopefully we have a nice leisurely stroll through the swamp back to town.
Let us commence our leisurely stroll, eh?
Yeah, very good. Everybody go ahead and gather your stuff and make sure we get back on the path. So what we're going to do is we're going to break this up like we did on the way there. I'll bring us all back to the Uralite Valley area. Here-ish. So, the Sawtooth, if you recall, is roughly here-ish. The first time we made the journey, we were going to, I don't know exactly, but it was roughly here-ish. And we broke it up into sort of two legs. You had the first leg, which brought us into the real thick of the swamp, and then the second leg, which was the rest of the swamp travel. So we'll break this into two skill challenges, one for how you're traversing through the swamp, and then one for how you're traversing through the forest. So you'll have two different opportunities to use your skills. Both of these will be 5 success before 3 failure.
One thing I wanted to try to do is to see if I could peel off to the back of, like, when we start to leave the temple.
Okay, yeah, if you want to do stuff before we get on the road, that we can RP that first.
I wanted to kind of just, all right, give me a sec, try to eat some. Basically what I'm trying to do is to buy time to see if I can get everyone else out in front of me, and then that way I can run back inside pretending that I'm getting sick for a moment. And if no one follows, then let me know. If someone follows, then I'm not
okay.
Go forward.
So I'm gonna let you roll 2 checks, one for stealth and one for performance. If they both beat a DC 12, we'll say that you're able to not only sneak away, but also convince everyone, or not only convince everyone that you're not feeling well and need to go back in for some reason, but also do it sneakily so as not to draw too much attention. So roll the performance first and then the stealth.
I don't think I can bardic inspiration. Yeah, I can. All right. So performance then stealth?
Yes.
Or I guess it doesn't matter, right?
Performance then stealth. If they both beat a 12, then you are just successful. Perfect. So yeah, so you're able to sort of act your way into solitude and then stealth your way back inside. If you want me to pull the map back up, I can.
I mean, is anyone else right there with me? Because my assumption is that...
No, because you passed your checks, you were able to get in there by yourself.
Okay.
Unless someone in the party wants to do something. I mean, I can't.
So I would probably go close to the back of the pack with him, because at this point, I truly believe that he is in the condition that he is.
If Jin comes with me, I'm going to cast a message and say, "Back off! I'll be right back." With me, kind of like punch over.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. So now I understand what you're trying to do. Okay.
Fingers, you all right? No. Okay. I look over at Sparkles, see the thing going on,
and then you see me kind of lurching forward, and what I do is I run through that first main door where we put the rock on it after it's sunk into the floor.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Which is by the way totally still open and has not moved.
Right. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna first run through that, kind of around the corner, and then as soon as I break line of sight with everyone, then I'm gonna instantly go into like infiltration mode, run into the room and grab the sash.
The sash?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have everything else.
We don't have the shield.
No, everything else, like Mortimer's whole plan was to keep everything under lock and key. The only thing that you have with you because they were opened was the dagger.
Rod and the rod. They took the dagger too.
Yeah, because
real quick, I realized that I don't have the time to run up and try to pick a lock real quick because it was really tricky last time and I got lucky. But I do have time to run in like I'm throwing up or at least dry heaving, and then grab the sash from the case that's already broken, and then come back out and like, oh, I think I'll be all right.
Okay. It's just so you're aware. The sash is. I had a description here. Where is it?
Is it big enough? I guess that would. Yeah. Is it big enough or small enough you can hide?
Sash. Wrapped around a wooden stand rests a shimmering cloth of gold sash, the ends neatly hemmed and adorned with rope tassels. The pattern of the fabric is a crosshatch of white and gold threadwork. The sash is about 9 feet in length.
That is a long sash.
Oh, I was thinking like a belt sash.
No, it's like a cloth of gold sash, like a pirate would wear, wrapped around his body a couple times.
Oh, I was picturing more about.
All right, well, I'm gonna.
I mean, you can still do all this. I'm just letting you know what you're carrying.
I see. So, I guess I'll shove it in the bottom of my pack and put, stuff on top of it. Because I imagine that even though it's 9 feet long, it probably packs up fairly compactly.
It's a piece of cloth. It's like a 9-foot long sash.
So, bottom of my pack.
I'm not saying you can't do any of these things. I'm looking over here instead of over here. I'm not saying you can't do any of these things. Or I'm just saying it's I'm just letting you know what it is.
No, I get it. Thank you.
You were looking at the right camera, by the way, Jim.
For you guys, the stream's over here.
So the sash is now in my pack. There's the shield and the dagger, which are both still locked up. But
no, the dagger is with one of the scholars. Well, with Mortimer.
So just the shield is left.
Because again, they opened it and he wanted to make sure it was safe.
Right. As much as I'd love to get a shield from my good buddy, the unhittable man, there's no way I could hide that.
Yeah. But yeah, the sash is under lock and key, and the
Where's the book?
The shield is under lock and key.
You still got it in your shoe?
He's still got it.
Okay, so I have it. As far as I can tell, no one's nearby. Like, I haven't been detected.
You don't appear as though anyone has detected you. You don't believe anyone has detected you, I should say.
Do I see Swift?
No, Swift is out with Callus up front.
Okay. I'm gonna come back out with that assumption that I just pulled it off the heist.
Yep. As far as you know, you were successful.
And, man. I take a deep breath outside. I kind of squint at the sun. What is it, like late afternoon now?
Yeah, it's like noonish.
Yeah, like, all right.
You alright there, Fingers?
I don't know. Keep up with me. And then I join the group.
So my plan is to stick next to Fingers, because I know he's hurting.
Okay.
Time as much as possible. We'll try to split myself between Fingers and the group. If anything, I'll try to convince Fingers. I will try to convince you, Fingers, to stay near the.
So describe
academics.
Describe the marching order of the entire operation.
I'm gonna imagine the
huntsman
wildman in front, the academics in the middle, and us in the back.
Yep, that's exactly what I was picturing as well. I would be trying to, staying close to Leganor there.
Yeah, so generally that's true. Occasionally, Rolfo falls back to both chit-chat with his Dragonborn buddy and also compare wounds with Leganor, because he's a chatty Cathy.
Varen can wander off into the swamp for all I care.
So, alright, so swamp travel, 5 and 3. Skill challenges, let them begin. And, again, you can, like I did last time, I think. Did I say you could use the NPC's skills for their skill challenge?
Yes, if we described it in a way that let them, yeah. Which I definitely did with
right.
Do we still have,
yeah, so for the because I made the swamp harder, right? Wasn't it 7 or something?
Yes.
Yeah, and then I ended up stuck in the mud.
All right, so it'll be the same. It'll be the same difficulty. So whatever I used last time, it'll be the same difficulty to get out of the swamp and then get through the forest.
I don't remember what it was for the swamp.
I don't know.
It's sounding impossible.
Oh, we do have it there.
I think it was 7 and 3.
7 successes before 3 failures. So holy crap.
I think it was 7 and 3.
Yeah. Okay. We'll try it. All right. So who's first? Their DM.
Oh, right. I tell you that. That's not up to you guys. The first is Wallace on my list.
All right. I'm going to try to use nature of mine, your Loban Valley info, as well as combined with like what I specifically was trying to pay attention to on the way here to try to remember how we're getting back successfully. So I would like to do a nature check at advantage.
Nature check to just know the path.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, at advantage. Go ahead. That'll be a DC 13. Fail number 1.
I tried.
So you do remember a lot of like, we need to go this way. I'm pretty sure that was the tree I saw. I know that it's like this looks familiar, but every time you bring that up to the wild men who are in front, Kalas is like, no, what? No, we don't go that. We go this way, and you guys spend more time bickering that you end up getting like turned around, and you definitely saw that tree before. Kalas starts fighting with her sister. She's laughing. Farah's like, "You don't know where you're going. That cat's stupid." And Kalas is like, "You shut up about Swift." And you guys lose a bunch of time, and everybody's upset.
Good luck.
All right. Next is Zach.
All right, I'm going to do this one as Rolfo.
Rolfo.
If that's cool.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So, Rolfo is going to be the one that's kind of remembering the path out and kind of leading the group because he was the one that guided us in here in the first place.
Using his what?
Wisdom?
Skills. You have to use a skill. Like acrobatics, animal handling, arcana, one of the actual skills.
Oh, shoot. Okay, so then that would be...
Oh, wait. We have their character sheets, don't we? I can look this up.
Yeah. So then I guess that would be his nature check then.
A nature check? Okay. So we'll have Rolfo roll nature to see if he, in fact, realizes the correct path, and he also is confused by the bickering of Kalas and Farah.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Plus, he's like disoriented. His chest keeps hurting and throbbing. He's like, I don't know. I'm not the right guy to ask. You should be talking to Kalas. I'm not feeling so hot.
And with that being said, Kalas is gonna step up to the plate, and she's going to peer down at Swift, and just kind of have one of those like ranger follower moments, and she's going to communicate to Swift to say, all right, scout ahead a little bit, help us find the right path. Your sense of smell is better than anything out here. And she's going to roll an animal handling check to see if Swift gets it and is as skilled as she thinks he is.
Animal handling, all right. Yes. Oh, sorry, I rolled it, but that's okay. It was successful either way. Yeah, so she basically like tells everyone, like the most you've ever heard Kalas speak, the loudest you've ever heard Kalas speak. She's like, everyone shut up. Get behind me. Stop talking in my ear. And she bends down. She's like, Swift, away. And Swift is like, a couple minutes, comes back. He's got like a dead possum in his mouth. And she's like, that's the way we need to go. And yeah, you cover a bunch of ground, and it was good. So we have 1 success, 2 fails. Let's get the 6 in a row, boys. Let's do it.
All right, I'm going
to get 7, huh?
As we're trudging through the swamp, we yet again, I'm going to be unoriginal here, come across a fallen tree that Farah takes one look at and says, I got this. He goes, runs up and tries to move it out of the way.
Isn't this the tree that I moved from over there to here?
Try to use her athletics check.
All right, athletics it up. I'll let you roll.
Okay. Hold on, make sure I'm not at advantage. Athletics.
Perfect.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, definitely maneuvers with muscle. She muscles for rank and
not until she laughs though.
Fuel burning fast on an empty tank. She says, "This tree is puny," and moves it out of the way, and the party's able to proceed through. So 2 and 2. Jin, that's you again.
Okay, that would be me. Yep. All right, so I am going to let's see. I'm going to try to convince everybody to take it nice and slow and nice and easy. I'm going to make sure that everybody is moving at a comfortable pace because, of course, Rolfo and Leganor are injured, and I imagine that Varen is going to want to be moving pretty quickly, so I want to convince him or persuade him to move at a reasonable pace.
Yeah, so you give him the classic Eagle Scout. Hike only moves as fast as its slowest member, and you gotta pace yourself, stay hydrated. Cool.
That's it.
Wallace is visually frozen, but we can still hear him. That's always fun. Oh no, you were just actually standing still. I thought your camera was frozen because it was such a weird position. Yeah, so Jin, go ahead and roll your persuasion. It's going to be a DC. Okay. In the future, let me call it the DC ahead of time. But that's fine. It was going to
go ahead and roll it like that.
It was going to be 13, so you're fine. Yeah. So you do. You Eagle Scout it up. You have a nice Mr. Rogers neighborhood moment with the unruly Varen, who doesn't like it but understands, and stops running off trying to get himself killed. And Leganor, you find the going is a lot smoother when you're not constantly trying to catch up to everybody. Although, aside from the fact that you feel physically damaged, like you're otherwise fine. You're not disoriented or weak. You're just like
Sure.
it's like you're just not healing.
Pause.
Next is Jeff anyway, so that's fine.
Okay.
So we're 3 and 2.
So I'm gonna, now that the group's all together, I'm gonna speak to everyone for a moment about how I've noticed that the art of moving through the swamp, light-footed and not always in a straight path, carefully choosing your next step, it's very similar to the art of walking elsewhere undetected. When you want to make sure that your enemies won't hear you. And so I try to show everyone how to step on the, kind of walk on their toes, and how not to sink in too far into the mud, and how to avoid stepping on things that make a lot of sound, and basically just showing everyone, hey, if you're light on your feet, you won't sink into the mire. So I'd like to roll a stealth check.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's a creative use of stealth. I like that.
DC.
I will call that DC 12. That's a smart use of stealth.
Cool.
Nice. So we're 4 and 2. We just need a second before Mike gets back.
On whomever Mike chooses, I'm going to use Bardic Inspiration.
Sure. Yeah, I'll let you do that.
So it's a D8.
Nice.
That's really cool too. I can give him the inspiration, but then it stays on him, and he can decide to use it, or if he still rolls high enough, not use it and save it for another one.
How long
In fact,
does it
I'm
keep
going
it
to do
for?
that to both of my friends.
Nice.
Well, actually, let me think about this. If I'm metagaming too much, stop me. But I would have to cast this one on Wallace, right? Because Farah just went. It seems like we're alternating, like PC, NPC.
That's because that's what you've chosen to do.
Oh, I didn't know if it had to be that way.
No,
like
that's not a rule. That's just what you guys are doing.
Oh, so someone could go a couple times in a row.
Yeah, it's your turn, and on your turn, you can either use yours or choose one of the NPCs. That's all I was saying.
Right, but what I'm saying is, like, it has to be Mike, then Zach, then Jeff, and then, like...
Yeah, that order
like...
that order is correct.
Okay, and then you choose whether... So you could then say...
On your turn, you can choose to use one of the NPCs instead.
Okay, because I was just going to say I cast it on Wallace, but I wonder if there's a way, like... I guess we'd have to talk about it when he gets back to be like, hey, I think I can really help you out, helping us to get out of the swamp. Like, I don't just want to, like, cast it, and then if he happens to choose Farah, it's on her, or if he stays with Wallace, it's on him. Like, I have to pick the character ahead of time, right?
I get that.
Okay.
So Bardic Inspiration you can just give to someone as they're about to run a thing.
Okay, so whoever he ends up choosing, I can just give it to them. We don't have to, like...
No, yeah,
like,
no, you don't have to prep that ahead of time.
Okay.
You inspire an action of one of your friends. I'm trying to quickly, before Mike goes, mock up a thing here. Let me see how fast I can do this. Is that the size? Yeah. That'll be good enough, I think. Yeah, that'll work.
Joys of apartment living. My neighbors are banging on the wall right next to my daughter's head.
Fun.
Oh boy.
My attempt to go confront them was met with, they just never answered the door.
They probably understood what the hell is going on there.
Yeah, I hope so. We'll see. If they don't, I'll go pound louder. Okay. So Wallace is going to try to actually come up to Mortimer and see if there's some sort of history that he knows that maybe can lead us along some ancient path that maybe the ground's a little more solid on, as a way of using a history check, discussing with him to be like, hey, is there maybe like more solid ground that we could find that was some ancient path that would work better?
Okay. So
does that mean it's Mortimer's, or does that mean it's Wallace's history check?
Yeah, what do you...
I'm using my knowledge. I'm trying to use my history knowledge in a discussion with Mortimer. Like, so I'm trying to, I mean, it was to see if,
I
like,
get it.
hey,
You're trying to use history at advantage in a meaningful way.
yes.
I understand.
So can I give him my inspiration?
Does the DM buy that is the question.
So you can have that conversation, but since Mortimer is not a guide, he will tell you whatever information he has. It's just, it may or may not be super helpful because he's not familiar with the swamp. He's familiar with the artifacts and teachings and learnings of the Uralites themselves.
Okay. Do I know anything like that in the history check that I could try to use to guide us through the swamp? And therefore guide the folks. Or guide our merry band.
No, because the Uralite civilization existed before this whole area was a swamp. Like, the whole reason it's buried is because the glacial caps melted and flooded the Uralaban Valley.
Okay.
So the swamp has nothing to do, it gives you it has to do with the history of the Uralaban Valley, but not related to the Uralites. So Mortimer would answer your questions if you use him. It just wouldn't be a lot of helpful information.
Okay. Alright, in that case, I'm just kind of trying to see if I can't use my perception skill to just find dry lands to guide our two wounded people away from possibly being any more uncomfortable than they already are.
Which check are you doing for that?
A normal perception check for myself?
Perception? Yeah.
Yes.
So you're trying to...
inspired.
Yes, and you have Bardic Inspiration from Jeff.
So that's wisdom plus a d8?
Yep.
Okay.
Make it count. I only got 2 more.
Didn't need it.
So you still have it. You just didn't use it.
Oh, got it. Okay. I'm assuming the d8.
Do you have to roll that ahead of time or after the fact?
No, it specifically says...
I get to see the roll first, right?
To do so, once within the next 10 minutes, the creature can roll the die and add the number rolled to one ability check, attack roll, or saving throw it makes. The creature can wait until after it rolls the d20 before deciding to use the Bardic Inspiration die, but must decide before the DM says whether the roll succeeds or fails.
Gotcha.
I am not using it, and
Okay.
you haven't told me to succeed it yet.
That's correct. So that's definitely a success.
So we're at 6 and 2? 5 and 2?
5 and 2?
Okay.
And this is what? This is supposed to be what? 6 and 3?
7 before 3.
We've done
before 3.
7.
Okay.
So
I'm going to I'm going to inspire Zach as well. Jin, excuse me.
Yep. Jen's gonna need this. Okay. So let's see, to raise the general morale and of Rolfo and Leganor. I'm going to kind of do silly things, like kind of blow fire with my breath and use the prestidigitation and kind of make some fireworks. They'll go off, or just kind of raise the general spirit of these travelers because I can tell that they are not doing well. Do a little performance for them.
So you're using prestidigitation in your performance to raise group morale during your travels.
Correct. Yes, to keep the spirits up and make sure everybody's moving healthily and happily.
Okay. Describe more specifically what it is you're prestidigitating.
Absolutely. So, make a bouquet of flowers pop into my hand and then poof away into some doves that fly away.
So you're doing like Job from Arrested Development magic act.
The eye of the tiger.
Okay. That will be met with all right. So that's what you're doing. That's going to be met with mixed reviews. The wild men are like, what? Why? And the scholars are like, this is cool. This is way better than walking through the swamp. Varen will be entertained, but he won't want everybody to know it. And yeah, so we'll call this a DC 15.
Okay, well, that's a big one. Okay, where was it? Performance. There it is. Normal roll.
Very good. Wow. You seem to have really made everybody feel a lot better. The swamp is less of a daunting task, and you guys start to forget just how many gallons of mud there are around you.
Yeah.
So we are at 6 and 2. This is the make or break. So come up with something good, Ilthalion.
So follow Ilthalion. That's someone from another game.
If you haven't used your Uralite value stuff.
All right. After a riveting performance by Jin, I'm going to follow it up almost like we were in a tavern somewhere, and I'm going to give a nice spoken word performance extolling the virtues of working together and sticking to it and not giving up and not bickering and cooperating, thanking Callus and Farah for their many exuberant deeds of physical and athletic prowess. And then I say to Mortimer and the other scholars, thank you for your patience. And, it was a hairy one back there, but look at us. We're going to make it out of this all right. And with that, I'd like to use a persuasion check to boost morale, riding off the coattails of that wonderful performance by Jin, and help us to stay on point to get out of the swamp.
All right, cool. So that's going to be a performance check. And
while... Not persuasion?
Oh, is that what you're doing, persuasion?
Yeah.
What are you trying to persuade them?
Please, continue to work together, see how well it worked out. Varen, when we weren't trying to outpace the rest of the group, we'll get through this. We'll have each other's back.
It doesn't sound like persuasion. It sounds like you're giving a speech. What are you trying to persuade?
To continue to follow suit. I mean, if you want me to roll performance, I'll do that instead.
Yeah, I don't think persuasion is the skill that accomplishes all the things that you said you're trying to do. I think that's you're being an orator, which is a performance.
But also persuasion. I mean, but I get what you're saying. All right.
So that'll be persuasion, and if you want to use performance, if that's the goal, I would just come up with a different way to do so.
Well, my persuasion's a higher roll, and if this is we either sink or swim right here, so I was trying to save the best for last.
Sure. So I'll let you do those things that you said as performance, or I'll give you an opportunity to come up with another way more fitting for a persuasion.
In that case, I go over out loud. I start saying everything that we've, everything we've successfully done so far in spite of the pitfalls and leaving the swamp. And I say, please, we got to continue to hold our course here, and please, no more bickering. It's only in our best interests if we essentially join hands and get out of this quagmire here. look, when we put our trust in our fellow teammates, even if they were non-human, Swift showed us the way, and Farah once again demonstrated why she's capable of this. She'll move anything out of our path that gets in our way, and we just need to continue doing what we're doing for the next few days, get back on dry land, and then we can have a flag and a veil and laugh about this at the Sawtooth.
So you're mostly directing this towards Varen, who's like the only person giving strife towards the travel.
Basically, just saying like, look, buddy, it's working this way. You're the odd man out. Just go with it.
Okay. Cool. So you're trying. So in your attempts to persuade Varen to stop being a dick, that's actually very difficult because he is a dick, and is tired of the swamp, and it's at the end of the swamp journey, and he's like an unruly toddler, and you're trying to reason with him. So it's actually going to be kind of hard. We'll make it a DC 15 persuasion.
Oh, that's not that bad.
Solid. Yeah, so despite his whining and crying and tantrums, you curtail him and bring him back into the fold.
There.
And
you can get back and polish your sword at home.
You make it to, as the area where it's less open, wet grossness and more just like patches of forest and swampland intermingled. The ground seems to dry out more. There's still moisture and muck, but it's not as the swamp proper is behind you.
What time of day is it now?
Well, this has been multiple days already.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of, at this stage, you and Rolfo have 2 days effects of the curse. So I think your max HP has dropped by 5.
How are my lemons doing?
The lemons have continued to grow rapidly. They seem like cherry tomato sized, where they were just buds before. They don't smell super sweet yet. And a couple of times Rolfo has been like, come on, I don't even want to wait, just give me that thing. And you knew enough to be like, no. Because as you focus on the staff, you've seemed to be attuned to it, and you can feel like these are not to be harvested yet. So Jeff, your HP max goes down, but your existing health won't go down until your max surpasses that.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't actually take 5 damage. You just don't have that max anymore.
Right.
And I need to just look at Rolfo real quick, see where he's at. Okay, that's fine. He's fine.
And I wouldn't know if that was a permanent thing, right?
You only, well, you wouldn't actually feel anything. So
Okay.
This is more for record keeping. In terms of what Leganor feels, he doesn't feel any different because he's just as damaged as he was before. You simply know that the wound, like unlike other cuts and scrapes that have healed over 2 days of travel, scabs and the like, this thing on your shoulder is exactly the same as it was.
Gotcha. More or less giving it the Jorah Mormon treatment. Like,
Yeah.
Try not to show it to everyone.
Sure. So, at this stage in the game, like I said, the terrain seems to shift a little bit. Everyone's sort of breathes a sigh of relief. There's a newfound vigor in everyone's minds as they're no longer wet sock trudging through muck, and it's a little easier to keep their footing. So when you wake up on this morning, you guys know that you have a few more days travel through the woods. The wild men, like Callus, is much more like, I know that tree, I know this rock, we're in the right direction, everything's great. So it'll be just a 4 and 3 skill challenge to get the Sawtooth.
4 and 3, you said?
Yeah, I think that's accurate.
What has I assume like we've.
It's been multiple days.
Right?
Is Rolfo starting to be worse for wear now? Like,
his loss of max doesn't seem to have changed his current state.
Okay. I was to say, as a way of sort of moving things along, I would have had like Farah just basically like pick him up from time to time, just to like let him ease the burden, so like he doesn't slow us down if he's hurting. That's a way of trying to get us to move quicker. I don't know.
Okay.
Carry him.
I don't know if they'd be that amenable to that idea.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that that's necessary as of yet.
Okay. All right. Goodness gracious.
What was the total travel out to the swamp? It was 2 weeks, right?
Yes.
So I think I've been too generous with the health to degen, because that should have been a week to get to here.
So
what should it be then?
are we treating this mummy rot as half a mummy rot because it wasn't a true mummy?
Yeah,
Or-
I'm trying to find a way to make it meaningful without making it TPK. Yeah, so I think what I'll,
the lemon's gonna grow. So
well, the lemons growing is a chance because you don't know how it's once a month, but you don't know if they're going to be ready in time. So that's going to be a dice roll later. As far as I know, the state of your party to not kill you but still make it functional. What I will do is just give you 4 days instead of the 7. So your maxes would be down by 20 at this state. And
one more day and I start losing HP.
yeah, as a result of that, Rolfo wakes up this morning and he does in fact look worse for wear. He says he feels weaker and more fatigued than he did the day before, even after a night's rest, and he continues to look at that damn lemon staff.
So at this point, I think
I am. I think I'm going to start to notice. Do I start to notice Rolfo?
Everyone starts to notice. He's very vocal about it. He has already tried to like take the lemons.
I hold it very close. I keep it on my person at all times. I never let it leave my. I never let 2 hands let go of it.
Sure.
All right. In this case, I'm gonna have. All right. So now.
Yeah. So now the next
Farah
week of travel.
Help him along.
Sure. So you have Farah. Farah certainly agrees, seeing her fearless leader not feeling so hot, and you can use that as a skill challenge.
Okay. Athletics.
Yeah. Sure. So she pretty handily is able to carry him. He's grateful and helps make the journey a little faster.
So I think
the whole while he's on her back, he's just like yelling at you, Leganor, like, "How come you feel good? You got hurt. Why? This is garbage. How come I can't walk and you can walk? This is bullshit."
Well, then I look at him and I just start peeling down the shirt. I say, "I'm getting there, friend."
So we could double time this. Like I think, like at this point, while she's thinking, like, look, gents, we got to move faster. Like this isn't gonna work. Like we got to get somewhere we can. Wait, actually, maybe double time it doesn't matter because I don't know if we can make that thing pointing at the rod. Like, is there anything we can do? I don't. Mortimer, is there anything we can do to make this thing go faster?
I don't know. Is there
like magic? I don't know. Is there some way?
I suppose if there was a method of increasing the speed of growth, might be successful.
Sparkles.
So,
I'm not a horticulturist myself, but as far as I understand, the only way you can make the rod to grow them faster would be the way you'd make anything grow faster. Do you have any fertilizer? Sorry, there's no laughing matter.
Well, when I attune this, if I allow the charges of it to drop down to 0, all the lemons are lost. But I can plant it in soft soil and water it like a plant for a week, and it'll come back. But it doesn't say anything about making the lemons grow faster that way.
Maybe...
So Jin, just so you understand, that's a matter of the item itself.
Yes.
Yeah, if you hacked off all the charges, or not hacked off,
Right.
charges are different from the lemons.
Yeah, this is the acid charges.
Yeah.
Sparkles, Rolfo, since you're the one who's desperately needing this, do we know some sort of magical way to make stuff grow faster?
I got nothing. You're talking to Rolfo?
I'm talking to both of you.
Rolfo says, I'm not a farmer.
Well,
What do I don't know.
could I?
I don't know. Can we
check?
water it? Can we water it as we walk? I don't know. Get a pot, stick it in the pot as we walk.
Keep it with us.
I was thinking like double timing it to get there faster.
Okay.
Like getting to our destination faster doesn't change the dynamics of.
Sure, I get what you're saying.
Fine. You know what I'm gonna do?
So who did you ask that of, Wallace? You just asked that of Jen,
Yeah.
or like who are you talking to?
Really, I'm just talking to the group, but mostly Raffle, Jin, and Mortimer.
Okay, roll a. I want to make sure this isn't a given, but I do
Okay.
want to give it a chance. Roll a. Roll a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Normal. Well.
Perfect. Wallace, it dawns on you that perhaps the Uralites themselves might have had a method by which they could speed up the growth of things.
But, Mortimer, where's oh, hold on, I had some for this. Was it, I don't remember which one. Get, I think it was Fred. Either Fred or Velma. Get him over here.
Students, come! And like, the amorphous solid that is the five scholars move together.
Didn't you explain to me that one of these dances makes things grow? Yeah?
Oh, yes, of course!
As it dawns on me what he's doing, I take the staff out and I stick the end in the dirt so that it's standing there right in front of me.
Mhm.
I kind of step back and
Okay. It stays stuck in the dirt, looking like a sad tree.
What, I think I don't remember which one. Get all the dances out so we can.
Oh,
look.
yeah. So all the scholars, they start tearing through their bags. They're laying out papers. They're putting things on rocks. They're laying rocks on things so they don't get blown around. They kind of reorganize and they put them basically in the order that they're laid out on the ground in the order that they were in the round room for ease. 1 is 1, 2 is 2, etc.
Right. What the hell? Where are my notes? Or maybe it was just the.
I don't have notes on those dances. I wasn't in that room when you guys were playing.
Give me 1 second.
The round room, right?
Yeah. Which I will rename them now to not just be round room, since you know what they are. These are the prayer room. This was the artifact room. There you go. So that should be clear which one is which now. Oh, how many days did I progress things? No, the calendar progressed 7 days, so I gotta go to the calendar. Dun 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 dun. Fantasy calendar, now I have to log in and I make it progress. 7 days. Home. Back. Current day plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Quick bio. I gotta go switch laundry. Very much.
Just happy Atoa, everyone.
So we're still waiting on Mike?
I believe so.
Okay.
Did it work?
Looks like he's back. Did what work?
Have we not? Nobody's danced it yet? Really?
No, everybody waited for you.
Could have done that while I was busy.
Everybody waited for you.
Just dealing with it. Now it's the 7-year-old that can't sleep. But okay. Sorry to make everybody wait.
No, that's fine.
Especially like the moments it's like, it's my turn, I have to go. Like, dang it. Jim, did you give us a description of the 7 dances in our files?
Yes, it's in the round room, which I've renamed to the prayer room.
Oh, here we go.
So under monsters and enemies, under sunken ruins, there's the exhibit room, the prayer room, and the artifact room.
Got it. Okay, so we figured out that Dance of Fertility, that's what we want to do. Okay. 5, which was... Velma.
Which one did you say? 5?
Velma? I mean, I think that was... Yeah, Dance of Fertility? Oh, wait, no. Nope, never mind, that's not what we want. No, we want Dance 6.
I don't remember. I don't think I was in the room when you guys were. I think I was. That was when I was attuning the rod. The rod.
What are you laughing about?
He's not here. And I don't know if this would be, if I don't want to give you ideas because this would be catastrophic for us if this is.
Don't give me any ideas.
Okay.
Tell me after.
Okay. Oh man. Anyway, okay. Yeah, so Dance 6, I think is what we want to do.
How come when I search for tokens called Noble Man, all I get are women?
You trying to find a token for Varen?
No, I'm trying to actually give the NPCs their own tokens.
Oh. Where did Jeff go?
Laundry and dishes.
Oh, fair enough.
Oh, our dishwasher broke, so we've been washing dishes by hand for.
Ugh.
That is lame.
It's very unfortunate. I know. I got to take it apart tomorrow and see what is wrong with it.
When
Mike,
my
were you yelling at the neighbors for banging again, or?
No, it was actually I was talking too loud, and my 7-year-old was like, "Daddy, I thought you were talking so loud. I was concerned about you." I'm like, when my dishwasher broke, it was well, my dishwasher wasn't draining, and it turns out it was because a bunch of rice had gotten stuck in the drain line.
Oh,
I'll do it.
That took me
This one.
months.
So I changed the float valve, so it wasn't filling at first. Changed the float valve. Now it fills, but now it won't. It fills and it just.
Yeah. I can't talk to you about that. Okay.
I gotta figure out if the impeller's broken or what. I don't know.
All right, thing is, you're our best dancer. Let's get you to do this this 6th one here.
You want me to do the dance?
Well, you're the best person
What were
who
the
knows how to.
What were the names of the 5 NPCs, Mike? Do you have them handy?
Oh, I do. Shaggy, Fred, Velma, Daphne, and Scoob.
Okay, so it was all 5 of them. Just making sure.
Mhm.
All right, I've actually created actual standing tokens for them now, in case we have to use them, rather than having them just being an amorphous single square. Anyway,
You
proceed.
you want me to do the dance?
I don't know who else to, unless we want to make one of the students do it. I don't care. Just somebody knows how
Yeah,
to.
they
I feel like-
probably.
And Mortimer
No.
interjects.
Wait, it takes like 5 people.
Oh, I'm sorry. Which dance are we doing?
Second from the bottom.
The 6th one here. Let's see. Priestess. Something else. We need a priestess. Chin's tongue to. Surrounded by priests. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need 4 priests for these positions and 1 priestess. We'll need 5 total.
Oh, perfect. Daphne, you can be the priestess, and all the rest of the students can be your folks. It'll be a fantastic. It'll be a fantastic educational experience for you.
And Velma goes, Mortimer, do I need to be a boy? And Mortimer goes, there's a lot of speculation as to whether the dances all require the genders to be correct from their mod. We've always assumed that they needed, which is why they were depicted as male and female. So we should have 4 male dancers and 1 to play the priestess. And Velma's like, oh, jinkies, I didn't want to dance anyway.
Sparkled you up.
Okay. So,
All right,
I guess-
so we're going to
Life is
be
lemon.
we're going to be succeeding in this prayer dance with a combination of Jin's performance and Wallace's intimidation. Not that you're intimidating anybody, but I feel like that's the same skill set that's used to be like an educator and be like a conductor. It's kind of a similar, because you're not really
Can
doing
I-
performance.
Can I delegate this to Mortimer?
You can.
Because that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. I don't know that Mortimer has an actual intimidation score.
And 0 would be better than mine.
Okay. Fine. That's
Oh,
fine.
man.
So it'll just be a flat D20.
That's still better.
So I'll have you roll a flat D20, and I'll have
Okay,
Jin
that's fair.
roll a performance. The combined score needs to beat a 20.
Go ahead, roll yours.
There, 50-50 shot.
That's it. All right, I'm gonna roll a performance. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that'll work.
You're
That'll do
so good. You get
it.
into
That'll
this
do
dance.
it.
So yeah,
Got it, Knuckles.
so it's the camera changes. It's that grainy film noir, and the music crescendos, and the dialogue track fades out, and this wonderful score comes as like 17 camera angles capture every beautiful emotion, with the 4 priests, you, Jin, in the middle, being the tallest, taller than all the others, growing and outstretching your arms, and Velma giving this wonderful performance of, growing from the activities of whatever's happening in the dance. And upon completion, you feel the ground around you seems to get soft and well up with water. The sky above you starts to grow dark. Where there was blue sky becomes like patchy, cloudy, and you start to feel raindrops. And
Did you see the rain dance?
the rains continue, and they swell, and all around your area,
Uh-oh.
the wet ground starts to sprout. These mushrooms get bigger. This grass grows, and like all these things start getting lush and full and green, and the moss expands, and like grass is getting up to like knee high, and the lemons on the tree start to swell. Lemons on the staff start to swell, and the basket of the staff seems to get bigger and more robust, and like everything in like a 50-foot radius just kind of becomes lush and overgrown.
Dungeon.
That's
And then the muddy ground beneath your feet actually starts to like move. You notice, and Wallace, you definitely perceive that the ground right around the staff seems to like bubble and churn and gurgle, and like
Sparkles. Sparkles,
these
what is it doing?
these big bubbles of mud are like. Have you guys ever seen Fern Gully?
Yeah, like
So the motion of that smoke monster, the way it's like,
Yeah.
you see that in the mud. It's like this mucky, goopy, muddy muck, and out of the mud emerge.
I immediately grabbed for the staff.
Fern Gully was the analog version of Avatar. Everyone knows that.
Yes, yes, it was.
Gun.
These 6 mucky, flying figures like sprout out of the mud and start hovering around your heads. And
What is this?
these are the NPCs, the 2 girls and the 3 boys.
They're naked.
No, they're not. It's a tan shirt.
Okay. Are we are where we
I think
are?
it's actually a metal bikini. It doesn't matter. It's inconsequential. I needed a token, and I looked in the free assets, and that's what I found.
Yeah, those are free assets.
This is gonna need an explicit warning. Okay.
They're so tiny on my screen, nobody can barely see them.
Okay.
So yeah, so you're surrounded by all this stuff, and everybody needs to roll initiative.
And the staff's here.
The staff is in the middle of the muck. And I will leave it to you guys. Do you guys want to get into combat, or do you want to pick up with this combat at the start of next session?
Oh, what time is it?
It's 9:45.
You want to smoke these guys?
Yeah.
I mean, are they hostile? Do we even know what these things are?
He did say roll initiative.
I did say roll initiative.
He did, but
Yeah, so they
But
let me see if I can show you what they look like. How do I show you a token?
Oh, I clicked it, didn't pop up.
I mean, yeah, they look like. I mean, they look like angry bat tree things. Like I don't know if those are wings along the side.
Are they sturges?
Hey, I have a question. I'm gonna show you a different monster, and I want you to tell me if all it shows is the token, or if you see all the text as well.
Okay. We see all the text.
All right, so that's not what I want to do. I want to just show you the token at a larger size, and I don't know how to do that nicely.
Ooh.
Could you just, I don't know, copy and paste it into Discord?
Let me do that.
Not ideal, but make it work.
I will do that exact thing. Yeah, so that it's like the muddy muck burbled up, and they're these little flying, impy-looking muck monsters.
Fascinating. Okay, cool. Yeah, do you want us? I'm happy to do combat now.
Yeah,
it's up to the group.
You gotta pop up the.
I'm fine to keep going. It's whatever you guys want.
All right. Do you want to? Okay, so we have to click the token.
Yeah, select your token and roll for initiative.
You gotta put up the thing.
Oh yeah, I always forget to do that.
Oh, does it have to do that first?
Oh, it went up though. Good.
Yeah, it remembers it. I just gotta.
There's token. There's token. Cool.
Hey, where'd that thing go?
Oh, should I actually roll for Rolfo too, right?
Yeah, so again, you guys can control your NPCs if you want to make my life a little easier.
Sure. Does that mean rolling initiative?
Yeah. You'll select their token and roll initiative.
Select their token and do initiative in their character sheet.
Callus is over here if you can't find her.
No, I'm just pulling up the sheet again.
You like this swamp map I literally just created in 5 seconds?
Very impressive.
Whoa. Did you just resize the whole thing?
I just skewed it down 1 square because it wasn't covering anything.
Oh, okay.
It's not, it's, aside from like the actual trees and rocks, everything is pretty open. When I mock these kinds of maps up, it's open to interpretation. I just want a visual place to put
Fair
your
enough.
tokens.
Okay.
Looks like Farron and I have to roll off again.
No, it'll do tiebreakers if there is one. That's the order.
Okay, cool. So that means I'm up first. All right. Can... Oh, no, actually, I think I'm safe right here.
Oh, I gotta do one more initiative. Sorry. How do I do this?
You get none of the non-combat NPCs in there, if that matters.
That can't be. Oh, Mortimer. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Boss mob that we haven't seen yet.
So, upon their appearance, Mortimer and the others scatter and they run. Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. They run to like here, and they look like they're heading for behind this big rock over here.
Oh yes. Don't worry. We'll handle it.
This is why we hired you.
Okay, that's me. Can you show me what a 15-foot cone would be? Would that be something
Where? So
like this?
you have to tell me like where you're starting it and what direction it's going in, and I can draw it out.
So, well, basically, I want to try to hit. I'm gonna move. Jin's gonna move to the point where a 15-foot cone would cover all of these guys, but not hit anybody. And based on, can you see my arrow?
Yeah, I see it.
Would this
So
is a 15-foot cone?
I'll
Right?
draw.
Yeah.
I'll draw out some options. So again, ping the square, or just move your guy to where you want to go, and I'll show you some options for 15-foot cones.
It would depend on, like it's going to be somewhere in this region, depending on the size of the cone and the shape.
So this is a 15-foot cone. This, hang on, that doesn't help me if I'm drawing a bunch of them. From that current position, like if you want to draw it, if you extend it out from the corner of your square, it'll go out like this.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going for.
Okay. So that's a 15-foot cone.
Yep, that's exactly what I was going for.
You basically draw a 3 square by you draw a 3 by 3 square and then bisect it. That's a 15-foot cone.
Okay, perfect. Well, that's exactly the attack that I want to do. I'm gonna use my breath weapon.
Ooh, breath weapon, first time.
Yeah, I know. I use my breath weapon.
So
do a
here's something
15-foot
none of
cone
you have
dealing
seen
fire
before.
damage. Yeah. Let's see. So
Mike?
let me just post it
You okay, Mike?
there.
Yeah, what he's breathing on.
Oh. Yeah, so you breathe in that area. Your red draconic ancestry deals fire damage.
Yep.
But it's destructive energy, it's not actual fire. So
Ah.
I don't believe it says anything about objects being caught aflame, which is good because that's where the staff is. Because all the effect is that each creature in the area of the exhalation must make a dex save.
Okay.
A creature takes damage. It doesn't say anything about lighting campfires. So sure, let me we'll just roll.
That's a 3d6, isn't it?
4.
If they don't save.
Yep, 3d6 at 6 level.
Would I have to roll 4 dex saves?
Mhm.
Yes.
Alright.
Should I roll 3d6? What do I?
Wow.
And what's the DC?
DC for the saving throw
plus
is
your
8
con
plus my
plus your
con
proficiency.
modifier. So
Plus your
con
proficiency
is
bonus.
1
Which is going to be higher than 10, so they all failed.
and 3.
11.
So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's going to be.
So they all fail.
Yeah, alright.
So everything that failed, it takes 2d6.
3d6.
Oh yeah, 3d6, because you're 6.
Can I roll it?
Yeah. I think, yeah, that's fine.
Oh.
Yeah. So they all take 9 damage?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Would he have to roll out each hit though?
No. Not for
So
the
they
breath
failed
weapon.
the dex.
Okay. Oh, because it's one.
They all get their own dex save, or they take the damage. That's how that works. And if they were to succeed, they would take half as much damage. But it's just one damage roll. It's not like each thing takes a target. It's not like poison darts. It's just this is the damage of my breath.
Cool.
Excellent.
Now, I was, I think, somewhere around there. Can I move again after I
Yeah.
use my breath weapon?
You have another 15 foot.
I have another
of
15
movement.
feet. Okay, perfect. Yep. So I'm just going to kind of back off a little bit. Just give some space between me and these guys.
Cool.
Saving bonus, saving reaction.
Yes, both of those are saved. Awesome. Great turn.
Cool.
Leganor.
As Rolfo.
Okay. So as soon as
wait,
this
no,
happens, I snap to it, right back into the old habit of things. I'm going to.
Yeah, it's not a
attack-
surprise round, so you have time to equip whatever weapons you needed while these things were bubbling up.
I'm going to attack the one that's actually in front of Wallace first.
Okay.
With
With.
hand crossbow.
Okay. That hits. For 7.
Yeah, still going.
Yeah, it's still gurgling and churtling around.
All right, I'm going to hit the same one again. This time using defensive flourish.
Can you just I can look at your sheet. Hang on. Defensive.
So I roll a D8 and I add that to my AC until the start of my next turn.
Whenever you take the attack action. Weapon attacking. Hits a creature. So you can decide to use defensive flourish if it hits.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll attack again. If it hits, that's what I want to do.
Okay, so go ahead and attack it. That hits.
Okay.
So roll your Bardic Inspiration D8.
Yep.
You'll get 4 bonus damage and 4 bonus AC until the start of your next turn.
So it takes another 9, and then I have AC 19 until the start of
Wait, what's the 5? Oh, the 5 is the damage and the 4 is the bonus?
Yes.
Got it. Yeah, so it's looking pretty goopy, and it's still flying in the air, but it's like... And that brings up Farah's turn. What does Farah do?
She's gonna go whack-a-mole again, yay! And frenzy, and she's gonna frenzy, not frenzy. She's gonna rage and just start slinging.
All right. So remind me now. Rage allows her to.
She's attacking at advantage, and she's using rage damage.
So she's frenzied and raged.
She's just we're gonna say raged.
Okay.
Actually, yeah. What does frenzy do?
Frenzy is the bonus attack for your bonus action.
If you do so for the duration. Okay, no, we're not gonna frenzy. We're just gonna rage.
So she's just raging. She gets advantage on attack or advantage on strength checks. Hang on. You can enter a rage's bonus action. You gain the following benefits: you have advantage on strength checks. You gain a bonus to the damage roll, resistance to bludgeoning, and it lasts for a minute. So it's not attacks at advantage.
Okay. So normal.
But she does get the bonus damage, which at her level is two rage damage.
Got it. She's attacking the one directly in front of her.
with the maul. She swings with an 11. Ties hit, correct?
Yes.
Well, she misses. No, I'm just kidding. She hits. For 8, 9, 10 damage. That was the one right in front of her?
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, her maul splorches into the muddy body of the creature, and it seems upset about it. She reels back and swings again, coming down on what looks like its head. It's hard to tell after it is obliterated into a muddy, mucky pile, and it gets all over her face, and she smiles as some of it gets in her mouth, and she's like, "Ha, delicious." And it is a pile of dead dust, muddy grossness. And that brings up Wallace's turn.
Swing bada on the one directly in front of me.
Okay. 11 is a hit for slashing damage of 9. You cut this muddiness into 2 pieces of mud, and they flutter motionless on the ground. And
I'll spend my second attack on this one.
Seep back into the earth. You swing your longsword a second time.
Let's see. Hold on. Okay, let's see if I gotta hit it and see if maneuvering attack even lands. When you hit a creature with a... Yeah, so let's see if I even hit.
And again, it's almost exactly the same attack as your previous. It finds purchase in the flying muddy goopiness, and it deals 10 damage.
Okay, when you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can expend a superiority die to maneuver one of your comrades into a more advantageous position. You add the superiority die to the attack roll's damage. So we're going to do that.
It takes another piece of damage for some reason.
Alright, let's see. That creature can now use its reaction to move up to half its movement speed. So if Leganor
Who's that?
if Leganor
well,
wants
it's
to
because your name in Roll20 is Ilthalion. So even though you're speaking as Leganor, it shows Ilthalion on screen. That's why.
I changed it though. I changed it in the drop down.
You changed who you're speaking as in chat, but you didn't change your nickname in the game. It's like a setting up in the game you'd have to modify.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's okay. But anyway, he's given you no provoking attacks of opportunity and half your movement should you wish to use your reaction.
Right now.
Okay. Doesn't provoke, you said it.
No provoking, correct.
Now, can I occupy
you
this
have 40
space?
movement, Jeff?
There was 5, 10, 15, 20. It was 20.
Yeah, so he has 40 because he can use half of his movement.
Oh, because here, so that'd be... There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, you're fine. Can I occupy this space while not harming the stick?
Yeah.
So I'm going to use my movement to go here.
Sure.
And I'm going to second wind and dodge action.
Hey,
Nice.
That's pretty solid.
That's great.
It's like that level in Vandal Hearts where you have to protect the 4 statues in the middle of the thing. Everyone just the way to do it easily is just put your 4 characters on each side of one statue, so the monsters can never get to it, and just damn the other 4 statues. Anyway, that's cool. Successful round of combat. Rolfo is up. What does he do, Jin?
Okay, Rolfo's gonna step back to here because he does not want to take any damage.
Yeah, that's
He's
smart.
then gonna fire. He's then gonna fire his Eldritch Blast
Oh,
at
that's a good idea.
this guy and this guy here.
Yeah, those 2 jerks. Ping pang.
All right.
Yay, 11's for the win.
The 11 on
11s.
this one is successful.
Now it says I have to roll 2 separate attacks. Does that mean I have to roll 2 separate to see if they hit?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you can attack
Okay.
2 targets with Eldritch Blast,
At level
can
5, I
attack
believe I
one
can make
twice
2.
or two
Yeah,
different
2 attacks.
right? Okay, yeah, so it would be 2 different attack rolls. The first one
Got it.
the first one hits the first guy.
All
And
right,
the
I'll roll
second
that attack.
one, well, that's the
Plus your
damage.
charisma.
So it's 5 force there.
It's
All
5
right, and then-
plus charisma modifier.
And the 24 also hits. And what's his charisma
let me
mod?
see.
I can pull it up.
Rolfo's charisma mod is 2.
Okay, so it's another 2 damage
Finish,
to him.
finish them off for the week.
Shouldn't that roll automatically? Oh, God.
No, there's the attack and there's the damage, so that's 3 damage to him.
No. I'm sorry. I meant the
charisma mod,
charisma.
please.
The charisma mod.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so then that guy takes 3.
I'm not sure why it doesn't do it.
Let me see if I can damage plus.
The big ones
Yeah, there
first.
you go.
Ah,
Plus charisma. I
there you go.
changed it in the.
Somebody broke it. I saw what you did. Everything's cool. Great.
Yep.
So damage is dealt. Is there anything else? Is there any other effect to Eldritch Blast?
No, it's just
There is not. It's
Alright,
just
cool.
damage.
So success. Now these flying bastards are mad. They don't like Wallace, and they scatter in all directions.
damn it. There goes that play.
This one chases after Rolfo.
I will swing at it.
Okay. You find a purchase and slash it for an additional 6 damage.
Exact same way I've done every time.
You're very consistent with your longsword.
It was advantageous putting
Perfect
yourself
practiced.
in striking distance of all of them.
Yeah.
He only gets one reaction, unfortunately.
Yeah, I can't do it all 4 times, but
If you had Tunnel Fighter, no, there's a feat that lets you do that.
that would be ridiculous. But is there a feat that lets you do that? Maybe. I don't think Sentinel just stops them from moving. But unlimited reactions? That'd be insane.
Yeah, Tunnel Fighter. It came out of Unearthed Arcana, I think. So I don't know if it's legit, but
Anyway, the DM continues to attack things.
So it flutters over to Rolfo, and it hovers in front of it, and it looks like it's gonna slice it with its like muddy claw hand thing, but instead it just opens its maw and like vomits black mud all over him.
Oh no!
And where is his character sheet? He needs to make a save of some kind.
I got it here. You want to tell him?
Yeah, he needs to make a dex save.
Dex. All right. You want to roll it now? Or are you gonna call out
you can roll it. You can roll a dex save.
Nope.
All right. So he's unable to dodge this goopy mud, and it flaps all over him, and he seems to be sort of stuck in place as a result. And he is under the effects of what is known as restrained.
Okay.
And someday I'll figure out which one of these is restrained.
I'm looking through them now too.
That's web.
Yeah, fishing net.
Aura. Yeah. Back pain.
Back pain.
Screaming. These aren't useful. I guess they're for games that aren't just D&D, so that makes sense.
What about cobweb?
I'll give him the fishing net.
Oh, you were just looking at the icons. Okay.
Yeah. No, I know what restrained does, but I appreciate that. Feel free to do that whenever you want, whenever an effect is mentioned by name. This one is going to flutter over here and take a poke at Farah after seeing its brethren smashed, and slams at her with its fists against her AC.
That hits.
Does she have resistance to any damage? Resistance to bludgeoning. Perfect. It's bludgeoning damage. So she will take half that.
So 2.
And then the other one, this one here, is going to slam at you, Wallace, with its
disadvantage.
With its fists at disadvantage.
Oh. Well, he didn't crit me at least.
Dealing just the 6 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And then there's this one here, which is going to flutter after Jin. And same thing. It goes to swipe you, but instead its gaping maw opens up. Make a DC save. A deck save, I mean. As mud erupts from its gaping maw at you. Luckily, you're able to dodge out of the way and are not succumbed to its goopy effects.
No goop for me.
And I'm just going to delete these off this sheet so we can get some of that confusion out of there. Alright, that brings up Callus's turn. Also, I didn't think you rolled initiative for Swift.
Oh, it would be separate, right?
Yeah, the pets are different.
So you
I don't know.
you can roll
I
for
have no
Swift, and I'll just have it this turn. I'll have it go after Callus, and for going forward, it'll be whatever turn you roll.
Roll 3.
I don't see initiative on the sheet. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, it should be like a dice symbol.
Well, actually, just have Swift go now. That's
Okay,
good.
yeah, I'll just have Swift go. Perfect.
Cool.
All right, so
Hang on, I'm just gonna click through to make it Swift's turn. There you go.
Swift, he knows the drill at this point. He knows what's going on. And seeing that one of these nasty buggers just barfed all over his friend Rolfo, he is going to mountain lion leap on top of this thing. But I'll put it right there. To trigger pounce, and then he wants to try to knock it prone.
Okay, make the attack.
Claw attack.
17
That'll
hits.
do it.
So just click the attack, yeah. So with the claws embedding into the thing's goopiness. Oh, damn it! I missed stuff. I forgot the whole fun of these creatures twice. All right, we'll just do it from here. You guys got lucky. He
When you hit
smashes.
things, bad things happen.
He smashes through it, and as it loses its consciousness, it explodes in a muddy, goopy burst. I need Swift and Rolfo to roll dex saves.
Oh god, I would have been a lot
Rolling
of
dex.
explosions.
All right, they're both fine. Nothing happened, but it's dead.
They just popped.
Does Swift do anything else?
Where was he? He was here?
Yeah.
So what's that, 20 feet, right?
It looks like it.
All right, so that means I have another 30 feet.
Yeah, Swift moves a lot.
I'm going to position him here.
Okay.
But I don't think I can attack again, right?
No, you only get the one attack. That brings up Callus.
Callus, at this point, is going to look close and then look far, and she's going to help out her sister.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I have a lot of open windows right now. So longbow.
I know how I feel.
Attacking this one.
Okay.
On the
That's,
far one. Okay.
that strikes, dealing 11 piercing damage.
Same one.
Same one. That also hits, dealing an additional 8 piercing damage. 2 arrows kind of go splorch, splooch, and kind of sit there in the mud. The muddiness of its body.
All right.
Does she do anything else?
Yes. She's going to move up here and take a defensive position by her butt.
Cool. As she does, this one takes a poke at her.
Oh, because of attack of opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Can I make an arc around it?
Do you have the movement to that?
So I was here, right?
Yeah. If you have the movement to do it, you'd have to go 5, 10, 15, 20, and then move from there. How much movement does she have left after that?
I have 10 more feet, so I could move.
So you could be here, here, yeah. Anywhere in that row would be fine.
Okay.
So yeah, the answer is yes. So no attack of opportunity. The NPCs move as an amorphous blob over to here. And Jin, it's your turn.
Okay. I will shocking grasp the guy closest to me there.
Okay.
Because I want to get the heck away from him.
You do that.
Ooh, that'll hit.
Is that your attack roll?
I
Plus
wish.
8,
No.
19.
God damn. Yeah, that definitely hits.
Yeah, baby.
Dealing
Okay.
7
lightning.
lightning damage.
And I can get away. Let me see. Advantage on the attack roll if the target is wearing armor in battle. On the hit target, takes 1d8. Can't take reactions until the start of its next turn.
Got
So
it.
I will.
So you can freely move
just,
away from it.
Yep, I will back off. I'm gonna go up. Is this? I'm not on the rock right here, right?
Sure, that's fine.
Okay, actually I'll go there.
And
so.
it's not so steep that you could
Sloped.
walk up it. It's like jutting
Okay.
out from under the ground.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Then
Great.
I am golden.
Farah.
She's swinging at this one.
Okay. She raises her maul and slams down on its goopy body for 15 damage. Very much obliterating it. And I need Swift, Farah, and Wallace to make dex saves.
Who was that? Swift, Wallace, and who?
Swift, Farah, and Wallace.
Farah.
So on a saving throw, are ties passes or fails?
Passes.
All right. So Farah saves, but
Farah's got a 17.
yeah, Farah saves,
Yeah.
but Wallace and Swift are restrained in goopy mud as this thing explodes.
Got it. Okay. No.
Does Farah do anything else?
That was just one attack, wasn't it?
Correct.
And then she's having like she's having fun.
He's like,
Swing it.
ah, you've got mud on you. She's swinging at this other one next to her.
Yes.
Okay, that hits, dealing 10 bludgeoning damage,
That'll be her turn.
and she stands there. Very good. Leganor.
All right, the one that was just on Jin that
Yep.
he punk slapped right there. It's time to whip out the big guns. So 2 hits or 2 attacks, both with sharpshooter.
Okay, so that's what, -5 to the attack roll, but plus 10 damage.
So that's 18.
And 16.
Yeah. Somehow you find the brain in this puddle of mud. Not the band. And it explodes, but nothing's nearby, so it doesn't do any real effect.
Huzzah!
It sounds like the Necromancer Corpse explosion.
Can I climb to the top of this rock in
You
one
could.
turn, or would that?
Well, no, you're not 25 feet. You could do half speed to climb. So you can go 15 feet up the rock.
Okay. When I get to that position, can I see over to the other side to?
Yes, you'll be able to do that because it kind of slopes up and back down.
Okay.
So you can see the other members of your NPC party.
Okay, and the rest of my turn is going to be like making sure none of these creatures are coming up on them.
Got it. Wallace, you are restrained. You can, I believe, make an attempt to get unrestrained. Let me see. At the end of your turn, so you can do another deck save.
I will dodge action.
Okay, you can do that? Yeah, you're restrained. You can still take actions.
Yeah, attacks would be a disadvantage. Attacks against me would be an advantage, but I'm not attacking.
That'll cancel.
Neutral. Yes.
Okay. And then you can make a dex save to break the restraint, which you do.
Yay!
Right?
So
it doesn't say you have disadvantage on that, right?
Oh,
Creature has disadvantage on dex saving throws. So, yeah. So unfortunately, you don't.
No.
You are still restrained.
Yes.
Okay. And you took the dodge action. That was your turn. Rolfo is restrained, so he can't move. He is going to also take the dodge action and then try to break out. So go ahead and roll a dex save at disadvantage.
He could attack at disadvantage.
Huh? Oh, okay. So my
apologies.
apologies. Jin, you tell me what he's doing. I forget.
No, that's fine. I am able to attack at disadvantage.
Yes.
All right, then I'm just gonna do that because I'm far enough away, and he's
Yeah,
got people close enough to him.
I forgot the mechanic. I'm dumb.
No worries. And I'm gonna use both Eldritch blasts on this one guy here.
All right,
Until I'm
2 disadvantaged attack rolls. The 10 zings past it, but the 19 finds purchase.
Yeah.
And that did the correct pluses. Yes, it did. So you
Yep.
you zap it into dusty, blittery explosion. And I need Farah and Wallace to make dex saves. Well, Wallace is already restrained, so he doesn't have to make a new one.
I'm covered in more muck.
Yeah, you just continue to be covered in goop, and Farah also has to save successfully.
So now Wallace is just Farah's just looking at Wallace and laughing.
She totally is. She's like, "You got mud on the other side of you," because like the first explosion was like on your left side, so it was like the left half of your armor was all goopy, and then this one's on the other side. You're just like totally covered. You look like the tar baby from the
But I did manage
Brer
to
Rabbit, Brer.
But the golden lemons are pristine.
Yes, the staff is looking very lush, and the 2 lemons have at this point now grown into their full size.
Are we out of initiative?
We are no longer in combat. You can remove your effects and clean yourselves up. The NPCs move to here.
I will immediately rush over to the staff, grab it, look at those lemons.
As you pick up the staff, you feel a well of energy emanating from the head of the staff. The basket woven thing is fully tree shaped. The lemons are fully lemon sized with little green leaf on them, little dew like budding on the edges of them. They look like a commercial for lemonade.
I gently and deftly pluck one of them, give it a smell.
It smells
and pass it
amazing.
And I'll walk it over to Rolfo, who seems to be in the worst of the conditions.
Rolfo is covered in mud and is hurting, and he's not happy.
He's also closer than Leganor was, so I'll hand it, and I just hand this over. I said, "Please eat this."
Oh, that's all I wanted to hear you say for a week. He like bites into the rind, like doesn't even peel it. But oddly enough, he doesn't make a face. Like they taste delicious. He doesn't immediately like, I'm perfect, but he feels like invigorated, and he seems really happy. And he does gain a good berry is +1 each, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so he gains the 1 health because the lemons have the effect of a good berry. And feeling slightly restored from it, he says, "Oh, I haven't felt like nothing has made me feel better than eating that lemon. I'll tell you that much."
Beautiful. And at that point, I deftly pick the other lemon and I walk it right on over to my buddy Leganor here and say, "Here, man, you deserve this. Take it. Feel better."
Oh, thank you.
The lemon smells delicious.
Do I need to peel it and eat it like any normal piece of fruit, or is it the whole thing?
That's up to however Leganor would choose to eat a lemon that was handed to him.
Probably would not eat the peel. So.
I don't know. If you've been living on the streets, you probably wouldn't care if you got rinds, right? I mean,
Does anybody have any sugar and water? Or maybe a little ice?
Sadly, my larder is not in my belongings. So assuming you eat the lemon, Jeff, it doesn't, like, it tastes like lemon, but it doesn't taste tart and acidic like other lemons you've had. It tastes sweet, delicious, like a lemon dessert.
True. Like lemon
It's like eating a miracle berry first.
Yeah.
You guys ever had one of those?
I know.
Really? Oh, it's cool. It's like this little. So you can buy them in tablets. It's a real fruit, but it's like it's compressed into tablet form, and you chew it up and you spread it around your mouth, and it completely blocks any sour flavor. Completely blocks the sour.
Wow.
So you can actually eat a lemon.
oh, I've heard of this before.
Yeah, I've never had
You can
that.
actually
That sounds
eat
really
a
cool.
lemon, and it tastes sweet. Tastes like lemonade.
That's awesome. I like that.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So yeah, you can gain 1 health, Jeff, and for the first time in a week, you feel any amount of restoration. The wound on your shoulder doesn't seem to throb as much, although the effect on your skin is still currently present.
All right. Well, I'm gonna play around with this a little bit, and I'm gonna use second wind to see if I can charge up a bit more.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. You took a level 1 fighter.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? How?
Yeah, he
Okay.
has 1 level fighter. It's actually really smart.
Do I just?
You just click second wind, I think.
No, it doesn't.
I don't know. I've never actually tried it.
I'll just roll 1d10 slash.
Oh yeah, no, you don't do it there because you'd have to just roll the 1d10. I think you can click. No, you can't even click it there either.
No, it doesn't let you click.
Anyway, yeah. So you gain 10 health.
Huh.
So your hit point maximum for record keeping you can put back to what it's supposed to be.
Yay.
And the crowds rejoice.
Wait, +1? Why +1?
It's 1d10 plus your fighter level, I believe.
Yep.
Oh.
And he rolled a 9, so you got 10.
There you go. Very good.
Yes. So you and Rolfo are no longer affected by the curse of the mummy rot.
Oh, sweet lemons of, well, the Uralites. I don't know who to thank for this other than you, Jin, and the wonderful dance troupe over there. Oh, I haven't felt this good in a long time. Oh. You see, with that, like I feel it on my shoulder, but I kind of shrug it off, and stretching around, and yeah, feeling good, ready for action.
And with that, everybody regains their bearings and prepares for the remainder of their journey home. And I think we'll close because it's 10:30.
Huzzah!
Nice.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was a good one.
The basket of the staff, once the lemons are picked, kind of reforms into that like twisted shape as the staff begins to start growing the next month's lemons. So make note of the date of the calendar, which is the 2nd of Etoa.
Just write this down.
So the next lemons won't be ready until the 2nd of the following month.
Okay. Unless we decide to do a dance and kill some mud monsters again. Next month. Okay, written down. Lovely.
It's still raining, by the way.
Which just adds to the mud.
Yeah. It's just and after everybody like regains their bearings from what just took place, Mortimer is like, "Oh my god, I can't believe we've literally discovered the Uralite rain dance, the dance of the rains."
/ growth / creation of mud things.
So he actually talks about that. He's like, I don't know that these mud things have anything to do with the dance. I think that's just a bad coincidence because of us being in a awful swamp.
Huh.
But I mean, I can't say for certain, but there was no mention of any such creatures in the Uralite scholarly
So when you get
readings
back
I've
to
ever read.
town and suddenly like there's stories of so you're gonna get back to town and your students here are gonna get in little drunken frat parties and all of a sudden you're just gonna see clouds of rain showing up in the middle of the city that nobody has to explain. And this is gonna be a problem.
Well, we will certainly have to have some discussions about
Responsible use.
I don't want you to take this lightly. What we have discovered in that temple is a massive discovery. This isn't just some random, oh look, I found a treasure map. Like, this is going to change everything.
Yeah, everything.
You guys,
look at that. Look at that fingers. What a part of history.
You guys were for all intents and purposes part of the crew that uncovered King Tut's tomb. Like, you're gonna be known.
High five.
Nice.
Wow.
All right. Should we say goodnight to the internet?
Yeah. So thank you, internet, for joining us. We're gonna break. We will be back on some Thursday. I don't really keep track anymore of which Thursday is which now. But we'll be back at most within 2 weeks for episode 11. So signing off. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Good night.